If you have lymphedema and you also have Medicare as your insurance provider, you need to be aware of the Lymphedema Treatment Act. This is a federal law that was passed in 2022, and as of January 1st, 2024, for the first time ever, people who have Medicare as their insurance can get their lymphedema products and supplies covered. This is huge. I'm Dr. Alex Hill, and I'm a lymphedema therapist and a board-certified oncology physical therapist. I'm so excited to be telling you about these changes that were finalized and how your Medicare insurance benefits can help you get your products and supplies covered to help you manage your lymphedema. So first, I do want to give a huge shout out to the Lymphedema Advocacy group for their extraordinary efforts in getting the Lymphedema Treatment Act passed. The Lymphedema Advocacy group is an all-volunteer organization of patients, caregivers, healthcare professionals, and industry partners. Their mission is to advance lymphedema care in the United States by advocating for improved insurance coverage for the diagnosis and the treatment of lymphedema. And they've done just that. With their efforts, as well as hundreds of people emailing, sending letters, and calling their representatives, the Lymphedema Treatment Act was passed again in December 2022. Now, although it was passed in 2022, as we know, most things in the government and insurance take a while to go through, so Medicare had all of 2023 to basically determine what would be covered and how it would be covered. The final ruling from the Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services, or CMS, is about 200 pages long. That is way too long to go over in this short YouTube video, so I am linking it below for a little bedtime reading for you. In this video though, we're gonna be hitting the main points that you need to know. I do wanna stress though that you need to talk directly with your vendor or your fitter to see if they are participating in Medicare and what you'll be able to get with them. So first, who is covered? Medicare will pay for lymphedema products and supplies if you have Medicare Part B coverage, you have a lymphedema diagnosis, and you'll use the items to primarily and customarily treat lymphedema, and if an authorized practitioner prescribes the item, so for example, your oncologist or your primary care physician. So one of the keys though is that you need to have a lymphedema diagnosis. So unfortunately, what this means is that if you have lymphedema, your lymphedema products will not get covered unless you also have a documented lymphedema diagnosis. So if you fit all this criteria and you're eligible to have Medicare coverage, then your annual Part B deductible and 20% coinsurance will apply to those products. So they're not completely free, but they are covered and they are going to be partially paid for. So now let's talk about what is actually covered. Medicare will pay for both standard or off-the-shelf garments and custom-fitted compression garments for each affected body part. So that includes compression bandaging systems and supplies provided during the initial decongestion phase to help reduce the swelling and the maintenance phase of treatment. So that means all of this supplies, it's covered. Compression garments are also covered. That includes those for daytime and nighttime use, compression bras, compression gradient wraps with adjustable straps, so this includes Velcro garments, plus accessories you might need, including aids for getting your compression garments off and on different body parts. This includes lower limb butlers or foot slippers that help you get your compression stockings on and off easier. Fillers are covered, lining, padding, zippers, and foam-filled products like swell spots, like this one here that can be used for the breast and the trunk. So yeah, this is a pretty big deal. So the next question you probably have is, how often can you get these products and garments? So for daytime compression garments, Medicare will pay for 3 daytime compression garments per affected body part every 6 months. They'll also pay for 2 nighttime garments per affected body part every 2 years. This is pretty good because daytime compression garments should be getting replaced about every 6 to 12 months, depending on how often you use them. They'll also pay for items to replace them if they're lost. So for example, if you left them behind after evacuating due to a disaster like a hurricane or tornado, if they're stolen, if they're irreparably damaged. So for example, they're exposed to toxic chemicals or damaged by some other event that does not include the item just wearing out over time. And if your condition changes, like if you have a change in your swelling that causes a big change to the size of the area that's swollen. All right, and finally, where can you go to use your Medicare benefits to get your lymphedema products? So you should work with a vendor or a fitter who is contracted and enrolled with Medicare. This means that they're an enrolled DMEPOS, which means they're a durable medical equipment, prosthetics, orthotics, and supplies. So once you go to that vendor or fitter, they'll first take measurements of your affected body area. They're going to fit and train you on how to put the garment on and off and how to use any other products that you have, show you how to take care of the items like storing them and how to wash and dry them. But again, it's important that you talk directly to the vendor or fitter to see if they are a DMEPOS supplier for you to be able to use your Medicare benefits with them. So reach out to your local clinics. All right, some final FYIs. You cannot retroactively get covered or reimbursed. So that means even if you placed an order on December 31st of 2023, you cannot retroactively get covered or reimbursed for those garments or products. This is only starting after January 1st of 2024. And second, the Lymphedema Treatment Act does not include specifically intermittent pneumatic compression devices or pumps, so they're not covered under this Lymphedema Treatment Act at this time. However, if you do have Medicare, work with your lymphedema therapist and the company with those pumps, and they can go through a trial for these pumps to see if they can get you covered and get you the pumps that you need. So again, thank you to Heather Ferguson, the founder of the Lymphedema Advocacy Group, the entire Lymphedema Advocacy Group itself, and everyone who wrote, called, and advocated for this type of coverage. If you have specific questions about your case, work directly with your lymphedema therapist and vendor or fitter. If this video was helpful, please like it and subscribe to my channel to stay up to date on how to best manage your lymphedema.